There are places on the internet most people will never see. Hidden networks, encrypted websites, entire communities operating in complete secrecy. This is the dark web, a world where identities disappear and where one man built an empire so powerful that governments around the world struggled to stop him. No face, no real name, no confirmed location, just a username and a growing legend. For years, he remained untouchable, until one mistake brought everything crashing down. This is the story of the most dangerous man on the dark web. At first, the internet seemed simple. People used it to search for information, watch videos, connect with friends. But beneath the surface existed another internet entirely. A hidden world accessible only through special software. A place designed for anonymity. Originally, it served a legitimate purpose. Journalists used it, whistleblowers used it, political dissidents used it, but criminals quickly discovered its potential. If nobody knows who you are, who can stop you? That question would change the internet forever. In the early 2000s, a new website appeared. At first glance, it looked surprisingly normal. Clean design, search functions, user reviews, seller ratings. It looked almost like Amazon. But there was one major difference. Everything being sold was illegal. Drugs, counterfeit documents, stolen information, cybercrime tools. The website rapidly attracted attention. Thousands of buyers arrived, then thousands more. Soon, vendors from around the world were using the platform. Money flowed through cryptocurrency. Anonymous, untraceable, or so everyone believed. Behind it all stood a mysterious administrator. Nobody knew his identity, nobody knew where he lived, but everyone knew his name. And within the dark web, that name carried enormous power. As the marketplace expanded, so did its influence. Transactions worth millions of dollars moved through the platform. Packages crossed international borders every day. Entire criminal businesses depended on it. The administrator became more than a website owner. He became a symbol. Some users viewed him as a criminal mastermind. Others saw him as a defender of personal freedom. The debate only increased his fame, and with fame came attention. Soon, law enforcement agencies across the world took notice. The FBI launched investigations. Cybercrime experts joined the hunt. International agencies shared intelligence. The mission was simple: find the man behind the screen. But there was one problem. He was extremely careful. Every digital trace seemed to vanish. Every lead went cold. Every clue led nowhere. For years, investigators chased a ghost. The marketplace continued growing, and with every passing month, shutting it down became more urgent. Investigators analyzed cryptocurrency transactions. They studied online messages. They tracked servers across multiple countries. Still nothing. The administrator remained hidden. Then everything changed. Not because of advanced technology, not because of a secret surveillance program, because of a simple mistake. Years before becoming famous, the administrator had posted on an online forum. It was an ordinary post, a request for technical help. At the time, nobody paid attention, but investigators later discovered something critical: an email address, a real email address, one tiny detail, one forgotten digital footprint. And suddenly, the impossible investigation had a starting point. Agents began digging through years of internet history. Old accounts, archived posts, technical discussions, small pieces of information slowly connected together. A profile emerged, a suspect, young, intelligent, quiet, someone who appeared completely ordinary, but investigators believed he was operating one of the largest criminal marketplaces in history. Now they needed proof, and obtaining proof would require patience. Because if the suspect locked his computer, critical evidence could disappear forever. Encryption protected everything. One wrong move could destroy years of investigation. So agents waited. They planned carefully, and then came the moment they had been waiting for. Inside a public library, the suspect sat working on his laptop. To everyone around him, it looked like a normal day, but undercover agents were already in position, watching, waiting, preparing. Then, the operation began. A distraction unfolded nearby, just enough to pull his attention away from the screen. Only for a moment. But that moment was enough. Agents moved immediately, before the laptop could close. Before encryption could activate, before evidence could disappear, they secured the device. And according to investigators, it was still logged into the marketplace's administrative controls. After years of searching, they finally had him. The arrest made headlines around the world. The legendary dark web empire had fallen. The man once believed untouchable was now in custody. But the story left behind important questions. How many criminals escaped before the shutdown? Were others involved behind the scenes? Could another marketplace rise to replace it? The answers remain uncertain. Because while this empire ended, the dark web did not. It evolved. New platforms appeared. New operators emerged, and new technologies made anonymity even more powerful. But this case revealed a truth that still matters today. Sometimes the greatest threat isn't an army, or a corporation, or a government. Sometimes it's a single person, a laptop, an internet connection, and an idea powerful enough to change the world. For years, he ruled an invisible empire. Then one mistake exposed everything, and the ghost behind the screen finally became real.